While I do love Private First Class Albert Blythe's storyline and Band of Brothers, if there was a character that the series screwed up the most with regard to historical accuracy, it would almost certainly be Albert Blithe. While it's true that he once became so afraid that he suffered a bout of hysterical blindness, the series at the same time portrays him to be rather cowardly, which he was not. In a 2003 interview with Pennsylvania State Representative John Payne, Dick Winters says that this portrayal of Albert Blithe is unfair to the man. The series also depicts Blithe as being shot in the neck when he was actually shot in the collarbone. We then learn at the end of the episode Carrington that Blithe ultimately died from this injury in 1948. However, as I explained in a previous video, which I'll link to at the end, this is incorrect and is one of the series' biggest mistakes. In real life, Albert Blithe recovered from his injury and lived until 1967. In fact, he also served in the Korean War and was a highly decorated soldier. By the end of both wars, he had earned the Silver Star, 3 Purple Hearts, 3 Bronze Stars, and several presidential citations. He even made a career of the military and was 18 months from retirement when he passed away. As his son noted, he ultimately drank himself to death from the effects of combat. Another error that the series makes with regard to Blithe is that he is heard speaking with a Southern accent, despite the real Albert Blithe being born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It has been somewhat of a mystery as to why English actor Marc Warren, who portrays Blithe, speaks with a Southern accent in the series. I've seen it incorrectly stated online that this is because actor Marc Warren spoke with Albert Blithe's son Gordon in preparation for the role, and due to the fact that Gordon was raised in North Carolina and speaks with a Southern accent, Marc Warren mistakenly thought his father must have as well. However, during an interview that aired on Black Sky Radio in 2011, Marc Warren indicated that he never spoke to Albert Blithe's family or friends to prepare for the role, and instead mainly relied on the book. It appears that the first time that actor Marc Warren spoke to Albert Blithe's son Gordon was during the 2011 Black Sky Radio interview when both men were invited to call in. During the conversation, Gordon praises Marc's depiction of his father, telling him, "You did a really, really good job portraying my dad, and I really respect that." However, Gordon also points out that his father, Albert Blithe, did not speak with a Southern accent and instead had a heavy Philadelphia accent. Let's now listen to exactly what Blithe's son Gordon had to say and how actor Marc Warren responded.
But you really did a fabulous job of portraying my dad, and I give you a good old pat on the back. And I'm just an old country boy from North Carolina. That's where I was born. My dad was with the 82nd. I do have to laugh about this because when you portrayed my dad, you had a bit of a Southern accent, and my dad was from Philadelphia, and he had a deep Pennsylvania accent.
I wouldn't have been very good at that accent.
Oh yeah, a Pennsylvania accent. You can't. There's no way of duplicating it. When you're born in Pennsylvania, you got the accent, and you can't duplicate it. That's what part of me is. My dad is about. I got that Pennsylvania attitude, and us Pennsylvanians, we hit it off. Just like Bill Garnett, when I met him, we clicked right away. And Bill Garnett is one hell of a guy, and he had some good stories to tell me. So did Ed Tipper. They all liked my dad. That was the only thing. That was a lot of what I heard from my dad's war buddies. You couldn't help but like Al Blythe.
From the exchange in the interview, it appears that the generic Southern accent was chosen for the character because it was easier for British actor Marc Warren to pull off. The only other additional explanation that makes sense is that the accent was chosen by the filmmakers because Blithe had spent a number of years with the 82nd Airborne at Fort Bragg in the southern state of North Carolina. To be honest, if the accent was the only error made with regard to Albert Blithe in the series, it wouldn't be too big of a deal. But as I explained at the beginning, unfortunately, that's not the case, and it's one of several things that the series gets wrong about Albert Blithe. Of course, some of these errors can be attributed to author Stephen Ambrose and the fact that he often took the veterans at their word instead of conducting thorough research. If you want to listen to the full Black Sky radio interview with actor Marc Warren, which was conducted as part of producer Ross Owen's Band of Brothers cast interviews, you can find the link in the description below. In the interview, Marc Warren reveals other interesting details, including the fact that he has never watched Band of Brothers, other than his episode and the first episode. If you want to learn more about Private Albert Blithe, check out the video linked on the screen. If you enjoyed this video and want to follow all of our latest Band of Brothers content, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Anchors away, my friends.